Yes.
So when you talk about the audit of this equipment, so you're saying so far you do not know what went wrong with the equipment, what failed on that particular day, because many Kenyans showed up in these stations even for the EVID kits to vote, but they were all not working. So for now, you don't understand what the problem is or was as IEBC?
We do understand.
Okay.
And here I'll take the opportunity again to just clarify. The BVR kits worked 100%, despite the fact that, of course, we were sharing the kits in some polling stations or registration centers. It is the EVIDs that failed. Remember, the EVIDs came very late in the day, so we didn't have enough time to charge them, and our officers, most of them had not had first-hand training, you know, with the gadgets. So a lot of them were confused when they just received the gadgets a day before the election. So these are some of the areas we have discovered. It's not like they were faulty, but they needed time to be charged, and when they got late, we could not charge them, and then the training part of it.
Okay, so they worked well. It's just that perhaps not charged, and members were not, officials were not well trained.
Of course, you have seen them working very well. Right after elections, we had the elections that were delayed in Samburu, Kuria East. Right. They worked 100%. All the by-elections we have held, Siaya, Bungoma, and finally the by-election we held in Mathare, they worked 100%. So it was really a bit of the problems I have explained, the charging of the equipment and the handling.
Because even when you're talking about the results transmission system, there was a test that was conducted ahead of the elections, and it also failed. So it appears that IEBC, going into this election, had already realized these anomalies, already had a feeling that things are not okay, because if equipment has come just before the election, it's a no-brainer that, of course, then in terms of people being prepared to use the same, there will be issues there. So with the RTS, EVIDs being there being many issues, and IEBC being in the knowledge of this, but at the time continually giving Kenyans that green light and saying all is well. Do you feel like you lied to Kenyans going into the elections?
I would not say we lied to Kenyans. We developed the software with the help of IFES, which was giving us support in terms of ICT, and we got assurances from our ICT directorate that the results transmission system was good. And the only problem they explained was that it didn't have enough space, and they were going to create space in the server. I'm not so technical in that, so I try to understand. They were going to create enough space in the server to accommodate the results coming in. But at some point, when they came in too fast, remember, they were being streamed from all over. But when they came in too fast, then there was a jam. And this is where there was a problem. This is an area, again, we have to audit and see how to improve. But again, the systems have been working perfectly well during the by-elections.
On a smaller scale.
Yeah, on a smaller scale.
But general elections, we all know, are bigger, and you have multiple elections on the same day. Because remember, even the ICT director, I think, who is one of the officials that was recently sacked, had raised the red flag in terms of preparedness. So in terms maybe of lying, it's a strong word, but misleading, or yourselves as the commissioners and IEBC already knowing that things were not okay, but not perhaps giving that picture, so that Kenyans from the beginning would have an understanding, by the we are going into this, but let's also be clear in our minds that yes, we are going into this with quite a number of challenges. Then the confidence and the clarity of everything is going to work out okay, and then the shock that just unfolded on election day. So at least would you say there was that perhaps expressing too much confidence when you knew at the time there were problems and challenges?
I would not say we were being overconfident, because again, it's the same ICT directorate that assured us that all was well. And in fact,
but
even
also
as you
raised
say,
the red flag and said they were not prepared.
Well, finally, when we went to Bomas, the final days, we were there for some tests as commissioners to see whether the RTS would work. They told us it will work. There were little hitches here and there, but they said it was going to work. So we were not going to stand and tell Kenyans this is not going